I want nothing more than the black one. I want nothing more than a Silver Sky, or a vintage Gibson 335, or a Dumble, or a Two-Rock even, and the list goes on. But what if I had all my dream gear? Where would I go from there? There's no way up. New York City, baby! So a few years ago, after discovering John Mayer, and subsequently all the gear that comes with sounding like him, namely Strat and a clean Fender amp, I was working in Bakersfield, California, and I went to the local Guitar Center. Now, I'd heard Slow Dancing in the Burning Groom for the first time, like, less than a month before then, and I had drowned myself in YouTube videos trying to figure out how do I get there, how do I get that sound. The answer seemed to be position 4 on a Strat, neck, middle. Now, which Strat? There's a million different Strats. Well, obviously the choice would be the Silver Sky, because he designed it. He's the master. He knows what's best. What Strat would be better than a Silver Sky? So my mind was made up. That was definitely the one. And Guitar Center had one in stock. It was in frost white. I asked the guy to get it down. He pulled the ladder, gave me the guitar, said something about hum or whatever. I had no idea what he was talking about. I plugged it into, I think, a Fender Mustang or something, and tried my hand at playing Slow Dancing in a Burning Groom. I was exactly that stereotype of that guy who comes in and plays a guitar way too expensive for his technical ability. Yeah, so that's rough. It was the best Strat that I've ever played, without a doubt, but it was also one of the first Strats that I've ever played. So I knew I liked it, but I didn't know why I liked it. Now, it felt good and it looked good and it was light and comfortable and had John's signature on the back, so what more did I need? If I had this guitar, I would sound like John Mayer. I didn't have anything. I didn't have pedals or an amp, nothing. And I was gonna walk out with that guitar. It was within my budget and I was totally gonna buy it. But I knew that I would be skipping the line. You can't appreciate what you don't deserve, and you can't be happy without appreciating what you have. You need context to understand quality. Be wary of what you take for granted because you might not realize its quality until you've seen the other side. If your first watch was a Rolex, then that's all you've ever known. You won't appreciate it to the same degree as somebody who started off with a Timex and then moved to Seiko and then Breitling and now has his hands on a Rolex and understands for real the quality, the difference. He can feel that he has a quality watch. He has context to the quality of a Rolex. Try to make a ribeye at home and then go to Reserve Cut in Manhattan and you'll understand why it's $150. Now, John and Paul say to have worked on this guitar for 2 years. They figured out everything. They worked through every tiny detail. Fret wire, body shape, neck shape, pickup wiring, everything. How would I expect myself to notice all these details or understand what they are and why they are? But at least I understood that I didn't understand. And I didn't walk out with a Silver Sky that day. I decided to start from the bottom and work my way up so that maybe in 3 or 4 years, when I played a Silver Sky, I would understand, yes, these pickups sound glorious. It's light and comfortable, and the body shape is different than a Fender. And the frets are surprisingly small compared to his other Fender signature models. And maybe even, if I had such a developed taste and understanding of what I want in a guitar, I might even play it and not like it. I couldn't have not liked it the first time that I played it, because I had nothing to compare it to. My biases towards John Mayer were immovable. So I waited and I watched and I did research and I did my due diligence and I ended up buying for myself this Mexican-made Fender Road Worn Strat, and I adore it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Then I started with a Fender Champion. I upgraded to a Blues Junior, and even that blew my mind. My first pedals were less than $30 a piece, and then when I finally got my hands on a JHS Bonsai, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Now I have a full pedal board set up and a Hot Rod Deluxe, and it's amazing, and I appreciate it, and I think it sounds incredible. I've even had an opportunity to spend a bunch of time with a Silver Sky, and it was an entirely different experience. I understood what I liked about it, I understood what I didn't like about it, and I could tell with nuance why this was a $2,300 guitar. Now, this is a rule for life. Be wary of skipping the line. Embrace the process and accept your own ignorance in your search for the truth. If you don't look back at yourself in a few years and cringe, you're doing something wrong. You've made no growth, and it means you're going nowhere. And hopefully, you'll be cringing at what you're doing right now in a few years from now. Like and subscribe.
Cactus. Baba Bowie.